Listen, man, I just had the most interesting encounter with a mechanic. It wasn't a mechanic. I just picked up a car from the shop. It wasn't a mechanic that was at the shop, but it was two auto repair places right next to each other in the same complex. Anyway, that's another story. That ain't while I'm on here. But I was picking up my car and I was chopping it up hanging out the window here, chopping it up with a friend of mine. So he was blowing, trying to come out. I didn't know. I didn't even see him. You know, if I had seen him, oh shoot, let me get out the way. Boom, boom. Let me back up or move forward. Or, you know, I'll talk to you later. So evidently he had been blowing for a minute. And you know how you be hearing stuff and don't hear it? You know, when I was hearing, I didn't hear it. But after I heard it, I realized, oh, I've been hearing that for a minute. You know what I mean? So I had heard him blowing. It came back to me like, oh, dude had been blowing that horn I was hearing. Was that me? Okay. So anyway, so I was wrapping it up with my conversation over here. And by the time I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna holler at you later. So I'll start putting the car in park and I look, oh, you trying to get out. Oh, that was you blowing at me. So I started putting two together, you know what I'm saying? I started connecting the dots. And you know, being the dude that I am, I'm just gonna get out the way. Oh, I'm sorry, my dog. Brakes on that. You almost ran in the back of that one. So I'm like, you know, I had the attitude and the posture of, you know, forgive me, you know, my bad, you know, and moving on. But as he backed up to get back in the car, right? You know how you watch these Chinese movies and they mouth moving but ain't nothing coming out? That's how he backed up. His mouth was moving. I didn't hear what he was saying, but his body language was on a completely different energy. You know what I mean? So, you know, you just never know what folks going through. I mean, the dude wasn't but a $105. I mean, I don't even think it was a $105. And I know what you're saying, you know, they be knowing this taekwondo and this these other skills that require all these other belt colors like black and green. I get that, but he was gonna snap, crackle, and pop. You know what I mean? He was gonna snap, crackle, and pop because I'm gonna tell you why. I'm really not a violent guy. You know what I mean? I'm not a violent guy, but you just never know what a brother be going through. And that could have been him too. Never know what he was going through. But at the same time, you also never know what a mug went through. He got all that pent up anger in him. You know what I'm saying? So based on what he going through, what I'm going through, what I done went through, what he done went through, I still believe he was gonna snap, crackle, and pop. You know what I mean? And because I just don't think we went through the same thing. I mean, he was an Asian dude. I'm one of them gorillas. You know what I'm saying? I'm the real. I ain't the glorilla. I'm the gorilla. You know what I mean? I'm that gorilla, and I was just raised a little different. You know, I was raised around fear. I was raised around, you know, all that stuff right there that you just don't want in your life at times. You know what I'm saying? Out of best smell about. You just don't want it. That ain't something you want. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how your mama and your daddy be like, boy, you about to get a whooping for the old and the new. And that's what was gonna happen. I just don't think his old and his new was gonna match up against my old and my new. I just don't think it was gonna happen. I just felt, you know, kind of sorry for him if come on, dog. If it had to go down like that, because obviously I did not see or even hear him needing to back up. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, you just never know what a brother going through, a person going through. So a lot of times you got to be slow to get angry. Very slow to get angry. You know what I'm saying? And I've had a lot of improvement over the years, but it don't mean like it ain't pent up. It ain't still pent somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you think it's gone until the opportunity present itself. And when the opportunity present itself, now it's time for your training to kick in. Oh, were you really trained, my dude? Were you really trained? You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, sometimes you gotta be, ain't no sometime, all the time. Just be slow to get angry. You know, even slow to speak. Because really, I ain't really holler at him. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really hollering, but I did want to, you know, let my window down and look and see if he was on that same energy of them kung fu movies. You know what I mean? Was his body language matching up with the words that was trying to come out of his mouth? You know what I mean? So I let it go. And sometimes you got to let it go. Sometimes it ain't time to let the old and the new come out. That's all I wanted to say. Took me 6 minutes and 22 seconds to say it, but that's it. Y'all have a good day. Have a good weekend. Peace.